Blueberries.
Renovating this house has been an incredibly slow process. Ow! It's very hot still. We've essentially accomplished 3 rooms. My studio, the guest bedroom, and a storage room that replaced our garage. But the thing is, renovations either take a lot of time or a lot of money. You either pay somebody to do it all for you, a lot of money, or you figure out how to do it all yourself. Lot of time. And the extra fun part is that even if you do pay somebody else to do it for you, it still takes a decent amount of time. And even if you do figure out how to do all of it yourself, it still takes a pretty decent amount of money. So anyway, I think it was like a year ago now that I said, hey, what should we do next? The foyer, the hall bathroom, or my closet? And I definitely thought that it was gonna be my closet, but surprise! We're doing the foyer. It's small, it's contained, it seems incredibly simple, although we do have to take into account the fact that it holds 5 separate doorways, which means a lot of trim. And y'all know I can't get through a room renovation without replacing all of the trim. I have plans. They involve wainscoting. There's not really another room in this house where wainscoting makes sense to me, at least right now, but we do love to expand our home renovation skills, so you know, perfect. We do also get the fun new skill experience this time of removing wallpaper. We put wallpaper up in the guest bedroom, but we have not yet had to remove any of the fairly prevalent wallpaper in this house. Wish us luck. Here's the basic list/design plan. The sound in this video is gonna be all back and forth. Every room in our house sounds different. Replace the hall and closet door. Remove all trim, baseboards, and wallpaper. Paint the ceiling. Add new wallpaper to the top third of the walls. Add wainscoting and a chair rail with hooks. Hopefully. Paint bottom 2/3 of the walls. Add new trim and baseboards. Decorate minimally, because there's not really much space to decorate. Basically, I'm thinking like a little side table and a mirror on the wall. The good news is that we can mark the first task off the list because we already replaced the doors. Huzzah! We are on a mission to replace every single door in this house with a good solid wood one eventually. Different design for every room, because that excites me for some reason. So while we were waiting on other stuff like wallpaper, we went ahead and got that done, which means we can move right on ahead to demolition. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just snap my fingers and it was done? No, we're gonna have to do it, y'all. Before we start ripping the room to shreds, let's take a quick moment to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Suri. Those of you who have been around the channel for a while may have heard me refer to my death grip, an almost aggressive clutching of my crafting tools that I find it very difficult to relax. Turns out that extended to my personal hygiene as well. The dentist informed me that I was brushing my teeth so hard that I was actually causing damage. Whoops! They recommended that I switch to an electric toothbrush so that it would no longer be my own hand scrubbing away at plaque with dangerous exuberance. So y'all, I've tried electric toothbrushes, I have points of comparison here, and I can genuinely say that I really like Suri. First of all, it's quieter than previous brushes that I've used, and while the vibrations are effective, they're not so jarring, which I really appreciate because brushing my teeth is part of morning and evening routines when I'm either getting sleepy or trying to get unsleepy. The brush heads are actually plant-based, and Suri will recycle them for free, which I find delightful. And the battery life lasts a whopping month, which means not only is there no charger cluttering up your bathroom counter, but also it is so easy to travel with this toothbrush. You can just pop the cover on the head and off you go. Or you can use the UVC cleaning travel case, still slim and small and easy to pack, but also removing bacteria from your brush head. If you, for whatever reason, find yourself needing to switch to an electric toothbrush or wanting to switch brands, I highly recommend trying out Suri. You can use my code THE15 to get an extra 15% off Suri. You'll see why I love it so much. Thank you to Suri for sponsoring this video, and now, demolition. We've gotten significantly better at demolition over the few rooms that we've destroyed so far, but alas, the poor puppy has an ear infection at the moment and needs lots of cuddles and love. So we had to go back and forth on comforting him and ripping out trim. We love you so much.
This really doesn't want to come out.
Do I need to take 3 days off to just cuddle you? Do you want to get up so mommy can help now?
No.
Don't think so. There we go. You go down here. Boy. Oh la la! That wasn't too bad. You'll be back. Oh, that's bad. I did not have high hopes for wallpaper removal being an easy task, but we looked up how to remove wallpaper, and so many websites made it look fairly easy. Score the paper. Spray or sponge it with this dissolving solution. Let sit for 15 minutes. Scrape it off. Yeah, no, I did exactly that. First with a spray-on gel version of the solution, and then with a concentrated add it to water and sponge it on version, and neither one did a dang thing. So I texted my lovely friend Shannon and said, tell me your secrets. And she said, the secret is having super old wallpaper that comes off really easily. Heh, yay. Also, a steamer. Thank goodness I have this little handheld steamer for clothing, although after this mess, I don't know if I should get it near fabric ever again. It did the trick, albeit with lots of elbow grease and time. Well, that was a less than pleasant task, although still better than sanding. Nothing is worse than sanding. But it literally took us all day, especially because after the first round of just getting all of the wallpaper off, I had to go back and do another 2-hour round of getting the little bits of glue and like tiny invisible bits of paper off. So, my body hurts. We also discovered that when we had people scrape and replaster the ceilings after we moved in, or actually before we moved in, they apparently caulked over the like ceiling to wall line and over the edge of the wallpaper. So then when we tore the wallpaper off, it left behind some rather messy bits. Like it took the drywall off in a lot of areas. So I also had to go around yesterday and just patch the entire ceiling line, which thankfully wasn't that hard, although it did make me bleed. The demo is officially done though, so let's paint a ceiling. This one is the lowest ceiling in the whole house, so it should be so easy, right? So easy. How satisfying is it to watch someone paint a white ceiling a slightly different shade of white? I'm guessing it's about as satisfying as painting a white ceiling a slightly different shade of white, which is to say, not very. I have gotten much better at ambidextrous rolling though, so that's good. Let's move on to something you can actually see. 'Tis wallpaper time. So Matt and I looked through so many wallpaper options to find one we both liked. We just wanted it to have green in there somewhere. Finally found one and we went, we don't need a sample, we like this one, it's great, let's just get it. So when it arrived, we realized immediately that it does not go with the tone of the wood already in this room, like at all. It looks so weird next to it. Whoopsies. So for round 2, I ordered a crap ton of samples, looked at all of them in this room with this floor and these doors and this lighting, and removed any that were not tonally right. And then I convinced Matt to go with the blueberries! Huzzah! This is now officially the blueberry room. We already have the bird room, and then my studio is what? The willow room? The carousel horse room? This
There.
goes into this.
Yeah.
Hello!
Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody promised tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, hello!
Yeah.
Go hold this up.
Follow this up.
Hold it up.
Oh, okay.
Mwah. Okay, so let's assume we're gonna line it up with the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can get away with this, especially because when I patched the ceiling, I made it curved because I was using my finger. So like, if it's ever so slightly littler in one area, it's not gonna be bad. Hanging 2-foot sections of this paper should have been exceptionally easy, and it was pretty dang easy. So easy! We should always do tiny amounts of wallpaper. But we definitely made it harder on ourselves by oh so wisely declaring, we'll just line it up with the ceiling. I'm sure that's not crooked in this extremely crooked house. Yeah, so we didn't make like an actual straight plumb line like you're supposed to and start from that. This decision came back to bite us pretty fast, but then we simply declared crown molding. Cover up that top edge, problem solved. Do we care about this?
That's not lining up perfectly.
No, it's lined up with the ceiling.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a ceiling trim?
What do you mean?
Like a, what do you call that? When you put the wood on the tops.
I know, right? Wouldn't that make it all easier?
We can do that.
Sure.
What's the thing called? Crowning.
Crown molding.
Crown molding. What's crowning?
Crowning is what a baby does? Yes. Guess who didn't order enough wallpaper? Yeah, it was me. I don't know what measurements I was working off of, but clearly they weren't the correct ones. When I ordered the first batch of wallpaper that didn't end up working, I got 2 rolls because that's how much we need. And then when I ordered the second batch, I just got 1 roll, as if the room had magically changed sizes in between those 2 events. It hasn't. So this renovation is going on pause, but it's actually really good timing because Matt just got called out of town on business. And it's not like renovations are at all impossible with 1 person. They're just a little bit easier with 2. But y'all, I really like this wallpaper. Hey look, the wallpaper is done. It's been 3 weeks. First Matt was traveling, and then I was traveling, and then I got home and I just had a bunch of stuff to do to catch back up on everything. But yesterday we were able to stick up the rest of this in like an hour. We've got it down now. We made an interesting choice, which was Matt's idea, and I actually really like it, even though it was a bit difficult. We didn't cut the wallpaper at any of the corners, we just folded it around the corners, which you're not supposed to do because the corners are almost never straight in a house. And yeah, they weren't. But between that and some very clever wallpaper patchworking, there's no official break in this wallpaper. It makes a smooth circle all the way around the room. And I don't know why that's delightful, but it's delightful. We also went ahead and primed the walls yesterday. This is not the color we're going for in here, but it is a lovely color. I don't know why it wasn't just white primer. We didn't add color to it, but okay. It's making me question our color choice now, because this is so nice and soft blue pretty. But no, we're gonna paint it green right now. Actually, Matt is gonna paint, for the moment at least. I'm still taping off the edges. Can I just say though, it's really nice having Matt available for this renovation. His schedule is always kind of up in the air, so when I make plans to do a bigger project like this where his help would be handy, I have to be prepared for him to be called out of town or something. I gotta be prepared to do it on my own.
So I can get stuff on the ceilings since we gotta paint.
Yeah, you gotta just go for it. Go ahead and roll that too. I think I'm just an aggressive painter.
I guess so.
But we met working together and became partners working together and worked together at the beginning of our relationship, and we work together rather well in my opinion, so it's always a delight to do a project together and kind of revisit that time in our relationship now that our careers have moved us down separate paths.
Should I start the second coat over here?
Yeah. Anyway, the puppy, whose ear infection is long gone, I actually forgot about it until I was editing, was also so helpful. Linky, did somebody walk through green paint? Was it you? Did you walk through green paint? Look at all this green paint. Are you so pleased? After a bunch of painting the trim, which I won't force you to watch, we moved on to staining the trim because yeah, with 4 doorways and wainscoting and baseboards and crown molding, this room has a crap ton of trim. Rather than putting up the wainscoting first and painting it all one color, which I think is the more traditional way to do it, we decided we want the natural wood look, so we're staining everything the same color as the doors for wood all around. That's a lot of wood.
It is.
Before we start chopping all of that wood up, I'm gonna take a little break from the big stuff to do a little thing. I wanted some hooks on the wall because that is like the door, it's the entryway, something you could hang a coat or a bag on. But then I also was thinking, how can I get more blueberries in this room? You know, we gotta have little nods to blueberries all throughout, right? So I figured, what if I made little blueberry knobs? You know, you can hang something on a round ball if it's big enough. Got these at the craft store. They are doll heads. So they're round balls with a slightly flattened side and a hole already in it. I guess they're technically a little oblong. So yeah, I'm gonna paint them to look like blueberries, hopefully. Painting is not hugely my forte, painting things to look like things. A little bit, But like, how hard can it be? You really just have to put like the little top of the blueberry, like the little, what shape is that? 4 triangles put together, and then like get a good color of blue, which I could have tried to mix, but again, not great with paint. So I got one deep midnight blue that I think will be good on its own. Let's hope. But how freaking cute will that be, hopefully? Okay, let's try it. But first I gotta sneeze, apparently. Oh wait, there was the yawn. Oh. My yawn derailed my sneeze, and neither of them was satisfactory. I brightened up my bluish gray color first and went to town with the base coat, then thought, maybe I should compare this color to the wallpaper. It wasn't bad. It would have been fine because the wallpaper blueberries have quite a range of shades in there, but a good amount of them are more purple leaning, so I did some color mixing after all and found a shade that I liked. I tried to do sort of a dabbing method to apply the paint so that there wouldn't be too many visible brush strokes, and then 'twas time to figure out that little star-shaped top that makes it a blueberry. Y'all, these are looking like cake pops. In the end, I went with this sort of 3-color version of the star, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's that middle zone of knowing someone more experienced with painting and color mixing could probably make it look a lot more realistic, but with my current skills, I'm pretty okay with where I landed. Matt said they looked good, so grand. Now we can address that pile of wood, which basically means a whole day of hanging out with a miter saw and a nail gun. Woot! We started with the crown molding thinking, oh, how easy, just 4 long pieces. In theory, if we're that far away up top, but we're touching on the bottom, that means we need to take off this much from the bottom, but not the top.
Okay. That was a lot of hail.
Yeah. Totally forgot about the geometry of tri-corner angles, but after burning through a few gray cells, we managed to get it looking pretty decent. Onto the trim, which was a blessed 45-degree relief. despite there being 4 doorways worth of it. And then there were the baseboards and the little footboards in front of those. What are those called? There's a name for that second layer, I think. Good lord, this is a lot of wood. So normally that would be the end of trim wood application in a room, and y'all, it is looking so freaking good. We discovered that measuring by just holding the piece up and marking with a pencil is so much easier than doing it with actual measurements. Sometimes you have to actually measure, but you know, when you can. We are not done though, because there's still all of the chair rail, picture rail thing that I'm doing, and the wainscoting. So, Matt has gone for a latte break. And then we gotta get back to this. We are renting the miter saw and we really don't wanna keep it overnight. So like, we really gotta finish this today. And this is the part we've never done before. So yay, wish us luck. Y'all, I did not end up filming much of this process, because first of all, 'twas quite a process, requiring much focus, and figuring things out, and questioning all of my choices, and then deciding my choices were fine after all. But also, we started this final stretch at 5 p.m., so the light was fading, and our energy was fading, and the rental time was fading. But hey, by 8:30 we were on the road to return the miter saw and almost done with the foyer. Almost.
Okay, let's keep going.
Almost, as in we waited until the next day to nail up the vertical wainscoting slat things. I then needed almost that entire day to do all of those small things you forget to put on your schedule or to-do list, but are so incredibly necessary to making things clean and professional and long-lasting. Perfect! Stuff like wood filler, my very best friend when it comes to home renovations, cause look, those 45-degree angles are never gonna be perfect. Wood filler! Now it's fine. Matt put the doors back up and did all the caulking, and then I just had to do very slow touch-ups to the stain and the paint. Teeny tiny brush, music on, fully focused, delightful. And then y'all, we just need a bit of decoration in here, and I think we're done. Well, that's it. I don't know what more you could possibly do in a room this small. It is very bright. This color of green is quite bright, and I think it reads even brighter on camera. But I really like brightness. I really want to lighten up the entire house. I love color. So I have absolutely no regrets about that yet. We'll see if in like 6 months it drives me nuts, but I don't think so. I don't tend to get annoyed by color. I'm not very color picky. I just like color in general, as you can probably tell by my wardrobe. The blueberries though. I'm so glad we went with the blueberries. It's just so fun to do like a specific wallpaper in some way rather than, you know, just a typical pattern. I don't know. I like that even in a room this small and, you know, this like useless, because we don't even really use the front door. This is a room people pass through. No one is staying here. There's no seats. Why would there be? But even in a room this small and this like not worthy of use, I love that I was able to work in a theme. I really wanted one more blueberry thing, so I looked all over Etsy to find a pottery blueberry. This is by Ash and Oak. Cute little bud vase that looks like a blueberry, so it feels like just the perfect amount. The wallpaper, the knobs, a little vase. This whole thing was such an experiment. Like, I put it together in my brain and I was like, I think this will work, but I didn't really know if it would. And at every step I was like, I don't know. And then the very next step I would be like, oh yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. And it really is. I don't have anything to put on it yet, but I like that it's a wide enough rail that I could put little like knick-knack pieces of pottery or art up here. I could balance frames up here. The wallpaper is busy enough that I don't really want to cover it up right now, especially because there's so little of it. But you know, if I start collecting a bunch of art and I don't have anywhere else to put it, I can rest it all right here. And if somebody does come over, they can hang up their purse, hang up their jacket, throw their keys up here. I kind of want to make a rug, like a long skinny one, to go right on the ground here as like this is where you put your shoes, because we are a no shoes in the house kind of house. Not extremely strictly, but like, pretty strictly. So it'd be fun to make a little rug to go over there that has some sort of matching theme slash pattern slash color. Anyway though, that's it. This has been going on for a while and I'm done with renovations for a bit.
I'm always afraid of putting these gloves on and there's a bug inside too.
I don't know whether there'd be a bug inside. She's so blue she don't know what to do. So anyway, I think it was like a year ago now. That's a lot of leg. There's already so much fur everywhere.
Love is in the air.
Okay. Ah! See, look, that didn't do anything.
Where's money? Take your money.
What did you find? Ball, the French have it down to a knot.
I don't know, like a Fortnite skin.
Okay. Or you look like a dirty person.